Yan, so welcome now to my next video. Today we'll be learning about bookkeeping. So magsasagot tayo ng hanggang number 20. Ito ay galing sa accountingcoach.com. So simulan na tayo. Yan. So number 1, the two main methods of bookkeeping and accounting are the cash method and the accrual method. Again, what is the accrual method? It is under the conceptual framework. Ayan, madami tayong mga concepts and principles na accrual basis ay nagsasabi na we can recognize revenue, diba, or recognize expense as long as it is incurred or when it is rendered, diba? Kahit di pa natin natatanggap yung pera o kahit di pa tayo naglalabas ng money, diba? Pwede na natin siya recognize. Halimbawa, umutang. Kahit utang, kita na siya. So number 2, the double entry bookkeeping means that every transaction will affect two or more accounts. Again, this is the mapping system, the debit and a credit, the double entry bookkeeping. So pwede siya maging 2 or more. Yan, example, 2 or more accounts. Minsan 2. Bawal siya maging 1. So number 3, a blank amount will appear on the left side of a T account. So what does a T account looks like? It looks like this. Hindi siya letter T. So actually it's letter T if we remove the borders. And the left side is a debit. Always the left debit, always right it is a credit. So number 4, a listing of the balances in the accounts in order to determine whether debits are equals to credits is the trial balance. So what does a trial balance look like? It is this is the unadjusted trial balance where we have the sum of all the debits and the sum of all the credits. We get this value from each of the T accounts. Yan, unadjusted trial balance. I will doing a separate video about this. Let's go back. Number 5, the listing of accounts that are available for posting transactions is the chart of accounts. Again, it is a list of all the accounts available for the company for easier reference. Number 6, let's check here. Correct, chart of accounts. Number 6, the check is written. A cash account should be, and when check is written, diba, cash is going out the company. So cash is an asset, so the asset is going out. Yeah, so when asset is going out, it should be credited because it is the opposite. Let's put credit, correct. Number 7, the liability accounts will normally have a credit balance. Yun here, all liabilities have a credit balance, so all of these accounts have a credit balance. Number 8, the revenue accounts will normally have a credit balance. What are the different kinds of revenues? We have sales revenue, service, dividends, and interest. Number 9, the bookkeeping of or accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. Okay, this balance sheet accounts represent the accounting equation. So we can do algebra here. Pwede natin siya paglaro-laruan. So asset minus liabilities equals equity, or assets minus equity equals liability. And so number 10, the book of original entry is the journal. So why is it the original entry? Because it is the second step of the accounting cycle where all of this steps starts in here, the journalizing. It is like a diary of the company. It is nakano siya format in chronological order. Diba? May date yan. Hanggang 28 August 1 to 28. Number 11, when a sale is made on credit, the seller will debit accounts receivable, diba? And will debit accounts receivable, debit. Ibig sabihin accounts receivable ay may karapatan tayo na kumolekta ng utang ng mga customer. So madalas verbal to. Ano ba? Hanggang 30 days. O kaya minsan pag nakapagbayad siya na maaga, may discount ng 2%. Diba? Yan, ganun. So number 12, the asset, blank, and stockholders equity accounts are also known as balance sheet accounts. This is the balance sheet accounts. Oh, this is liabilities. Number 13, large corporations should report revenues in their income statement when revenues are earned. Again, the revenue recognition principle. But not when cash received, but when here the service is performed or goods are delivered. Number 14, the difference between the balance in a company's cash account and its bank statement is documented in the reconciliation of bank statement. So what is this? It is prepare siya every month na kung saan kino-compare natin itong balance per book pati balance per bank. Bakit? Kasi minsan may bank errors tayo, minsan yun din book errors, yung 960 nagiging 690, or halimbawa may mga NSF check or mga undeposit check, outstanding checks, deposit in transit. So I will tackle this topic in a separate video. So number 15, accrued expenses are likely to pertain to transactions that have not yet been paid. Yan. So pag accrued, always keep in mind no cash. Accrued, no cash. Accrued expense, accrued revenues, no cash. However, if it is prepaid, it has cash, or deferred, it is cash. Diba? Kasi mga deferred, prepaid, mga down payments yan. And number 16, deferral revenues involve cash in. Deferral or prepaid or unearned have cash already. So that is the rule of thumb. So number 17, a blank entry typically removes an accrual adjusting entry that have been recorded in the preceding accounting period. This is closing entries. So what is a closing entry? It is the 8th step of the accounting period where, let's see here, closing entries where the accruals are removed. Reversing. Number 17 is reversing. It is my mistake. Reversing. It is the last step of the accounting cycle, and this is an example of a accrual revenue and accrual expense. It is reverse. And number 18, cash and cash receivables are two examples of accounts that are reported in the classified balance sheet under the heading current assets. So, ibig sabihin ng current assets, it will be realized within a year or less than a year. So, what are examples? Cash, accounts receivable, prepaid, and inventory. Yan. So, this equipment, land, intangibles, they are non-current assets. So, number 19, a supplier of goods is also known as a vendor. Vendor is synonymous to a creditor. Yung nagpapautang sa atin. And number 20, the separation of duties is part of internal control. So what is internal control? Ito, halimbawa sa mga cashier na may separate persons na nagbabantay para maiwasan yung pagnanakaw. So actually, it is under the auditing subject. Yan, makita natin na napakalawak ng accounting subject. Kumpara ng bookkeeping, it is the recording of the transactions. Accounting involves analysis. Yan, meron tayong financial accounting, advanced financial accounting, management accounting na may halong economics, finance, statistics, industrial engineering, auditing, at meron tayong taxation at law. Yan. So dito nagtatapos ang ating video, and stay tuned tayo. God bless sa atin.